Hello, 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 all 10 of you. Hi, Wyatt. Hi, Heather. How are you? To the other 8 of you dwelling in the bushes, hello, hello, hello. So, listen, guys. So I don't know if I described it earlier in the month. I'm not going to get paid for February next week. I was 40 cents shy of the $100 threshold. Um, I will get paid for March, but that's not until April. So, guys, for the next couple of weeks, if you are going to donate, please consider doing PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. Um, if you want to still do super chat, super sticker, super thanks, that's great, wonderful, whatever you can do. I appreciate it. But right now, the Cash App, PayPal, Venmo is the way to go. So I can make sure I can cover my StreamYard and all that for the month. Because those will be due the beginning of April. And because I'm not getting paid for February next week, I'm not going to be able to cover it. If you can't donate or choose not to, that's fine too. But feel free to like, subscribe, share the channel. Any little bit you can do, any little bit of interaction helps as well. Hey, Carol, how are you, sweetheart? What's going on? Wyatt, Heather, how are you guys doing? So I don't believe there was much movement. I was not able to watch too much on Nancy Guthrie today. I had a busy and actually kind of exhausting day at work. How do you do Venmo? Um, it's kind of like a Cash App deal. It's an app. My brother and his wife just left. Oh, okay. All right. So you had family with you? Good, 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 good. I think about you a lot, Carol. I don't know if you know that or not. I do think about you. Um, so like I was saying, I don't think there was much movement on the Nancy Guthrie case, unfortunately. I did find out, though, I did hear that they found more video footage, like camera footage from that night, I do believe. So they're just not releasing it, which I'm not surprised. No, Carol. Um, but what I want to talk about today is there is another stream. One of the streamers that I watch regularly called Dad's Gone Live. He's left Tucson. He's going back to California today. He said he might go back out there if there's more movement, but he's got things to do. He has to do at home. Trying to play catch up on the Guthrie case, but got caught up in the O'Neill case. Way too many. I know, Heather, right? Like people will come to me and like, have you heard of this one? I'm like, no, I've been too busy watching that one. um, and to add to your list, Heather, I did get to see. I was watching. I had There's a streamer called 857 Tucson, and he lives in Tucson, Arizona. That's Ryan and Farah's son. Oh, I don't know who Ryan and Farah are. Are you talking Farrah Fawcett? Is there something going on with him that we need to be looking at too? Holy crap. Oh geez, I'm gonna have to brush up on that one too. But I was watching 857 Tucson, and he's still out there in Tucson working on the Guthrie case. But he wanted people that watch him to spread the word. There's been a missing person out there, I believe, for 2 or 3 years now. Her name is Hollie Dasso. Now, I don't know that case at all, but he's asking everybody to just keep, because Hollie Dasso went the way that unfortunately Nancy Guthrie's case is going to go. You know, eventually it's going to fade. It's already started to fade because, as we know, life goes on. And people, you know, the news cycle can't sit on one story forever. But I figured we'd look into Hollie Dasso together a little bit and maybe see what that case is about. A case from 2018, attempted murder. He was just deemed mentally competent. Oh, interesting. Well, we'll have to keep track of that one then, won't we? But let me look and see what I can find on this Hollie Dasso person. Because, like I said, now this came via 857 Tucson. And I'll tell you what, he doesn't mind if we share some of his videos on this because he wants, let me look up and see. He wants people to know about it. So just give me a second. He's got quite a few channels. His one channel has 49,000, almost 50,000 people watching. So let me look and see. I don't know. Does he have a playlist? Let me see if he has Hollie Dasso on a playlist. Give me a second here. All right. In the meantime, I'm going to pull up a Yahoo article from last year about it. Is it an article or a video? A video. Shoot. It's not one that I have permission to use. Let me check on the chat here. Jesse, live in Puerto Rico, please activate Spanish subtitles. I don't know how to do that, Edwin. The Dasso case is odd. I was reading up some on her case also. He's the one I was looking at. Oh, the 857 Tucson. Hello, Twisted Tea. How are you? So let me look up. I'm going to find like a news article I can read because I don't really want to play somebody's videos that I don't have permission to play. And guys, it's interesting. It's interesting, and I know it's come up. Hey, Jeff, how are you? By the way, Jeff, an anonymous donor, I didn't see it until later. But an anonymous donor last night gave me money to tell one of your secrets. So, hey, Melty, how are you? Um, so with that said, one of Jeff's secrets is he's a weirdo. Nah, Jeff's cool. I love him, but he is weird. um, I've heard this before. I guess there's a show that's actually a reality show that I believe, I don't know if it's still going. I know there's at least one season out there on the Pima County Sheriff's Department called is it Desert Outlaw or Desert Law? And I'm wondering if some of the lack of transparency from that department has anything to do with that. Are they still filming that show? Are they trying to keep details from leaking out because of that show? I don't know. Hi, Kathy, sweetheart. How are you? So I'm really starting to wonder, though, if maybe that series that they're doing on called Desert Law is having some sort of impact, or is Sheriff Nanos just completely incompetent? Edwin, my darling, blessings, blessings, blessings. What do I put down for a recipient? What do you mean? What do you put down for a recipient? Wyatt, I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, okay. Like who to go to, who it goes to. All right, give me a second here. I'll type that in the chat. Hey, Mickey Griggs. Let me type this in the chat for Wyatt. Wyatt, it's gonna be the @ sign, then just because 10. I'll put it in the chat for you. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, Jesse's a broke bitch this month. I'm not even gonna lie. So let's look and see what we can find on Hollie Dasso. Heather, do you know much about the case? You said you looked into it a little bit. What's your thoughts? Why do you think it's odd? Well, I mean, and yes, I didn't realize until just now I spelled Tucson wrong in my title. So I'm going to have to change that. This is from October of 2025. A cash reward is being offered for information that can lead to the arrest of a suspect in connection with the suspicious death of a Tucson woman. According to the Pima County Sheriff's Department, Hollie Ann Dasso was last seen alive on September 22nd, 2023, in the area of Laos Transit Center. PCSD said her remains were found by railroad tracks off of East Marsh Station Road the next day. A reward up to $15,000 is offered to anyone who has information that can lead to an arrest. Those with details are urged to contact 88-crime and will remain anonymous. Well, how do you remain anonymous if you expect to collect a reward? Let's see. Hello, Donna DeMarco. How are you, sweetheart? Suspicious more so. Not much suspicious more so, just reading up on her. Congratulations. Is that true, Edwin? Miss Angel has surpassed the 60,000 sub count. Congratulations, Angel. Oh, yeah, guys. And make sure you watch her latest interview with Johnny Bart. I'm not going to attempt the last name. Bardo Maleo? I guess they call him Johnny Bart for short. So make sure you catch that interview. It was a great interview. Now, for those of you interested, and yes, I accept donations for the channel, but I want to make it clear I do not accept donations to do tarot readings. Those are just on my own. I do them. I'm about halfway through Eric Foss's card analyzation, and I will be reading his cards. I checked with him. He doesn't mind if I do it. So this ought to be interesting. This ought to be interesting. Anyway, back to... Oh, Donna, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, did you? Oh, cool. Let's see if it went through. I don't see it yet, but sometimes, I don't know, Venmo's weird. Sometimes it takes a little bit to go through. Guys, this is weird. I'm hearing somebody talking like they're on the phone, but I have no clue where it's coming from. All right. So, okay. So, Wyatt, you sent it to at just because 10. Okay. All right. Yeah, it might take a few minutes. I don't use Venmo a lot, so I'm not sure how it always works. Like I said, there I had one from last night that it must have come through later. So all right. So now Heather was talking about s- Farrah and Ryan's son. What's his name, Heather? Redmond O'Neill. Okay. So let me look that one up. Let's see. I cannot figure out where. Guys, I think the government's spying on me or something. Okay, so Redmond O'Neill. This is so weird. I don't have anything else open and I keep hearing talking. Redmond O'Neill. All right. Farrah Fawcett's unrecognizable Nepo baby son seemed seen with devil horn face tattoos after allegedly stabbing actor in head. Read all the horrifying details. Well, yikes. Let's see here. Redmond O'Neill, the son of Charlie's Angels star Farrah Fawcett and actor Ryan O'Neill, debuted some shocking tattoos when facing attempted murder charges in court. O'Neill, 41, was spotted in pictures published by the Daily Mail in a Los Angeles County courtroom with devil horn tattoos on each side of his forehead, right under his hairline. Another tattoo that existed previously on his left cheek and reads 5250 could also be seen in photos. According to People, O'Neill was charged with attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon, as well as several other counts stemming from an alleged 2018 crime spree. The criminal complaint the publication obtained read and stabbed another. Yikes. What is going on with all these people lately? Holy crud. If they ask, are you home alone? Run. Hold on, let me go. Mickey, if they ask if you're home alone, then run. What is going on, guys, with some of the I'm telling you. Are you sure you spelled it right, Wyatt? I don't know. I'm not seeing it yet. Doesn't mean it won't go through. Just means I'm not seeing it yet. Um. So now, Heather, when did you say? So they just found him competent. Now, when was he arrested? Was he arrested recently or? Let me see here. There's just so many of these bizarre cases to keep up on, guys. Miss, looking forward to your live stream tomorrow, Sunday night. The Oscar nominations with Jesse Roth said, Edwin, I have a question to ask you. I think back then, but then he was sent for mental eval and kept there. They've been fighting it, but finally deemed competent. Oh, gotcha. And Edwin's giving big hugs to Carol. Edwin, does it bother you that I read tarot cards? I'm just curious. Yeah, I gotta wonder, Heather, I gotta wonder what's going on. You look at Nick Reiner and Redmond O'Neill, and like what went so wrong in these people's lives? And these are all fairly young people. Oh, okay, Edwin. I was just making sure. I think somebody was having a little bit of fun with me. Because I don't do any harm with them. Edwin, lots of hugs and love to you and your family. See, this is what I like about, you know what? This is what I like about you guys in here. You guys all care about each other, and I like that. I like that you're all like that. He's had problems for years, drug problems. I think his parents tried to get him help. Oh, so kind of like the same thing with the Reiners. I'm telling you, Heather, my yeah, I've told this story a million times. My mom grew up in Hollywood, and she grew up in the second half of the golden age. She was born in the 40s. The golden age ended in the 60s. And even back then, because my mom moved to Pennsylvania when she was pregnant with me in 75. My two half brothers were born out on the West Coast. I'm the reason why my mom moved east. But anyway, so I've lived on the East Coast all my life, but I've heard stories growing up about, oh, how weird Hollywood was and strange things that go on. And of course, my grandmother, who ended up coming to live with us, she was schizophrenic and an alcoholic on top of it. And she used to tell us these stories, and we would laugh at her. We thought she was crazy. Well, she was crazy. I'm not going to lie. But over the years, stories have come out that have been like have come out that people were shocked at, and I just scratched my head and wait a minute, grandma was telling us about this years ago, years and years and years ago. And it just keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder. And I don't understand it. I don't get it. Oh, here we go. Thank you so much, Wyatt. It came through. You're a sweetheart. Oh, and I got another anonymous donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love. I didn't do it right. I redid it. Okay, Wyatt. That's okay. That's okay. They're all a little bit different. So if you're not used to using them, but all of you that are donating, I appreciate it. It's going to go towards my StreamYard for next month when it comes due again in a couple weeks. And that will hold me over until I finally do get paid in April. But Heather, these people, they're just like, some of these people are crazy. I mean, I'm no doctor, okay? So these are just my opinions. I'm no expert, but I do think the rich and famous use the excuse of mentally incompetent to try and get away with things. Not saying they don't have issues, just use that way too much. Well, I think you're right with that, Heather. But what I will add to this is I think the rich and famous when it comes to their children, there is a lot that being rich that money can buy. And I think the rich and famous think just because they pay for the best doctors or pay for the best lawyers or pay for the best psychologists, they think they're paying top dollar for these people, but I don't think they're even really getting the best because they're just going to keep milking their clients, right? Like, these might not be top-notch psychiatrists, but they're able to charge that. I never sent money on Venmo. I'm used to being paid on Venmo whenever someone. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, feel free to send money Venmo anytime you want, Wyatt. But yeah, Heather, I think those they send them to are just out for the money and not helping. Well, here's something interesting I found. We all know what happened to Matthew Perry, right? He was getting ketamine uh ketamine treatments. But on top of it, his doctors were getting illegal ketamine. And now, mind you, ketamine at that point was still in trial stages, but because he's rich and famous and has the money to do it, he can afford to buy it. And those doctors, they didn't give a crap. They didn't give a crap. He kept paying them, they kept giving him, right? And I think that's what happens a lot of times. That's why I use Cash App, not Venmo or PayPal. Yeah, Cash App's fairly simple to use. That's one of the simpler ones to use. I know though, like people in other countries, um, can only use PayPal. They can't use Cash App or Venmo. I know some people do prefer PayPal because it is allegedly a little bit more secure. Um, but lucky for all of you guys, I take all three. Kidding. No, guys, I love you. I appreciate it very, very much. But yeah, these doctors, they'll take money hand over fist and not worry about the quality of care, whether it's mental health, physical health. That's the problem. They have money and rules don't apply. Exactly. And you know what? I'm going to defend the rich and famous a little bit here. When they're looking to get their children treated, they're willing to pay any amount of money because as parents, we understand, you'd move the world for your children, right? But the problem is the doctors will tell them anything they want to hear just to get that money. I will be able to pay my bill. Thank you very much, Wyatt. Thank you. That's the problem though, Kathy, is let me tell you something. If I had the money to break some rules on a few things, depending on what it was, what it pertained to, who it pertained to, if it pertained to my child, I would absolutely pay for it. But, you get so rich. I think there's a point where people get so rich that they lose sight of the fact that it's not always about the money. It's about who you're paying it to. Are they ethical? Are they responsible? Are they reliable? And many, many of the people out there aren't, I read an article the other day. Cher's son. You can't enable these adult children either. Well, you know what? Here's the thing though, too, Donna. Once they're adults, the parents can't even help them. They try to. They try to help them. But, once a person's over the age of 18, like you could raise your child, you could take care of your child, you could do everything right, 100% right. But once they're 18, if they walk out the door, I will be off my computer in a few days to move my computer to the new house. Okay, Wyatt. Well, you make sure though when you get hooked back up, you stop in and say hi and let us know how everything's going. You need to make, once they walk out the door at 18, there's only so much you can do. We know that we have adult children, but they try and be friend. Exactly. It's one of those things. Okay, you have $100 million sitting in the bank. All right. Your kid just turned 18. Maybe he's had problems all of his life, or at least as a teenager. They turn 18. It doesn't mean their problems go away, but there's a legal difference with the age. All right. I could say, oh, honey, listen, you still need help. I'll help you. And they could either turn it down or accept it. And that's fine. And they might accept it. But the problem is, okay, if they turn down your help, there's nothing you can legally do unless you have them committed. And it's really, really hard to have somebody committed. Um, but let's turn around and say, okay, I'll accept your help. Well, now you're taking your $100 million bank account to a doctor that sees dollar signs, and he'll take your money and go, yeah, 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 your child's doing fine. He'll be fine. All right, maybe he acted up. Bring him in. We'll do a couple sessions. He'll be fine. Um, and they're charging thousands and thousands of dollars every time they talk to them or see them. And they're not even caring about helping the patient. I was out of my parents' house by 16 and never looked back. Lots of drugs and alcohol, no consequences. Heather, I agree with you on your statement. Oh, absolutely. But I think it's a combination of both, of all of that. I agree with Heather. But I think it's the responsibility of everybody involved. Ryan had drug and alcohol problems. I do believe all the kids had them also. Now, was Ryan Tatum's father too? I mean, I know Farrah wasn't her mother, but and Ryan O'Neal is okay. So both of his parents have passed away. Both of Redmond's parents have passed away because Farrah passed away, and then Ryan says here it passed away in 2023. So really, I mean, at this point, all right, yeah, okay. Tatum O'Neal is Ryan's daughter, but I don't believe. Okay, let's see here. Children, 4, including Tatum, Griffin, and Patrick. Oh, but it doesn't list Redmond. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, Ryan himself was the son of an actress, and his father was a writer. Let me look and see here. Let me see. All right. O'Neal married his first wife, actress Joanna Moore. They had 2 children before separating. Moore eventually lost custody of their children to O'Neal as a result of her alcoholism. So I'm assuming that's the first 2, which Tatum was his first child. So Tatum was Joanna Moore's child. His second marriage was to Lee Taylor Young, and they had a son. And he was in a relationship with Farrah from 79 to 97. They reunited in 2001 and worked together until her death in 2009. Okay, it says, I got married at 21. I was not a real mature 21. My first child was born when I was 22. I was a man's man. I didn't discover women until I was married, and then it was too late. He had romances with Ursula Andress, Bianca Jagger, Anouk Ami, Jacqueline Bisset, Barbara Streisand, Joan Collins, Diana Ross, Angelica Houston, and according to his daughter Tatum O'Neal, he also had an affair with Melanie Griffith. Angelica Houston claimed that O'Neal physically abused her. All right, here we go. Now we're down to Ryan's children here. O'Neal had 4 children, Tatum and Griffin O'Neal with Moore, Patrick O'Neal with Taylor Young, and Redmond James Fawcett O'Neal with Farrah. Okay. Now, was that Farrah's only child? Sounds like a few people need to ride the train station. What do you mean, Wyatt? The other 3 were by different mothers, which is okay. It's okay. Look at Michael Jackson and Prince. People gave them whatever they wanted, and look at what happens. Well, that's exactly it, Kathy. A lot of messed up doctors prescribe meds to whoever will pay for it. Something absolutely. That's exactly it, Kathy. A lot of it falls on the doctors too, you know. Now, in this situation where you have children of famous people, and the famous people are willing to pay top dollar to fix their child, that's where the doctors are really taking advantage. Sounds like a few people need to ride the train station. Seems like they are given everything and it's just not enough. They turn to drugs and alcohol. Well, that's where it starts, and like they might have mental health issues. Now, when you're talking about the children of famous people, there are a lot of these famous people, they have the money, so they spend money on nannies. And in their head, I think that makes them think that they're caring for their child, if they're spending a lot of time away from the children and paying nannies, they don't see that as, they see that as being a proper parent, because they're not leaving their children home alone or whatever, but it's not the same. And then, you come home and they miss you so much, you buy them a big old toy, or whatever makes them happy. And then once they start getting older and, they start realizing that, it's not a right relationship. As teenagers, they'll turn to alcohol and drugs. And alcohol and drugs, as we all know, makes mental illness even worse. Have you ever watched Yellowstone? No, I haven't. No. Okay, for several years, O'Neal was estranged from his 3 elder children. I'm a hopeless father. I don't know why. I don't think I was supposed to be a father. Just look around at my work. They're either in jail or they should be, he told Vanity Fair. In her autobiography, A Paper Life, Tatum wrote that she had suffered physical and emotional abuse as a result of her father's drug abuse. Griffin O'Neal also suggested their family's problems stemmed from Ryan. My father gave me cocaine when I was 11 and insisted I take it, he said. Griffin added he was very abusive, narcissistic psychopath. He gets so mad he can't control anything he's doing. See, I'm glad I found that I came across this. Like the, there's so much that goes wrong in these kids' lives. In 2007, O'Neill was arrested. Now, this is Ryan O'Neill, the father, was arrested for shooting at Griffin, his other son, which he claimed was in self-defense. The charges were dropped. O'Neill refused to allow Griffin to attend Fawcett's funeral in 2009. He hit on Tatum at Fawcett's funeral, not recognizing her as his own daughter. Oh, yeah. No wonder Redmond's a mess. Listen to this. His father's hitting on his own daughter. In 2011, Tatum published a book with her father and appeared with him on a TV show, Ryan and Tatum, The O'Neills. In August of that year, O'Neill, Tatum, and Patrick attended Redmond's court appearance on firearms and drug charges. Redmond struggled with drug addiction for most of his adult life. In 2008, O'Neill and Redmond were arrested for drug possession in their Malibu home. In 2015, Redmond's probation was revoked, and he allegedly tried to rob a convenience store in Santa Monica. In an interview from jail, he blamed his struggles on his parents. See, this is where it goes bad too, guys. Like I said, once you're over 18, you can only blame so much on the parents. You need to watch Yellowstone to understand the trains. Okay. Judy Garland, they set her up for failure. Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh, Kathy, you don't even know. The stories my grandmother told about that era in Hollywood. I mean, I actually did a show on it. I have to find it, but like the golden age of Hollywood wasn't so golden. The women were pumped up full of drugs to keep them working. Forced abortions. Because back then, if you weren't married and ended up pregnant, it was a scandal. Forced marriages, forced abortions. Lots of stuff went wrong back then, Kathy. And yes, a lot of child abuse. A lot of child abuse. And don't get me wrong, I think a lot of stuff was hidden all over the country in the respect of abuse and stuff like that. But Hollywood, just in general, because a lot of the stars were rich and famous, just had resources more at their fingertips. But, and you got to figure Ryan O'Neill, when he was getting into it, isn't like late 50s, early 60s? So you're still talking the tail end of the golden era. O'Neill said too many of the roles he had played were off the beaten path for me. In particular, he regretted doing The Thief Who Came to Dinner, A Bridge Too Far, The Driver, So Fine, Partners, and Green Ice. He blamed this in part to having to pay alimony and child support. He also said Agent Sue Mengers encouraged him to constantly work. If I could get a good director to choose me for a picture, I was okay, he said, but they stopped calling me in the mid-70s. I made a whole bunch of pictures that didn't make any money and people just lost interest in me. Directors take me reluctantly. I feel I'm lucky to be here in the first place, and they know it too. I'm a glamour boy, a Hollywood product. I have a TV background, and they can point to silly movies I've made. In 85, O'Neill tried something different, playing an LA Herald Examiner sports writer, sports columnist, who also gambles far too much in Fever Pitch. The final movie for director Richard Brooks. Even less conventional was Tough Guys Don't Dance in 87. Both movies flopped at the box office and received poor reviews. Well, perhaps nobody decent wanted you anymore because you were doing drugs and being a fool. I'm looking at the movies I didn't know he had a cameo role in Man of the House. Interesting, very interesting. Yeah, well, Heather, we'll have to keep up on I did like him in the TV show Bones. It's where bad people go and never come back. Um yeah, Heather, we'll definitely have to keep an eye on Redmond's trial. Um Nick Reiner, by the way, is supposed to be back in court April 29th, I believe. So we'll keep that in mind. All right, guys. I think we're at the top of an hour here. I'd like to thank Donna DeMarco, Wyatt Earp, and my other anonymous donors. Um, Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Um, I might be back tomorrow. I'm not sure. I have to keep working on my Women of Prison series, and I have to finish up Eric's reading so I can present it for you guys. So guys, keep your eyes open for that. Those of you interested, I am doing a tarot reading on Eric Foss. Oh, thank you, Donna. And you have a great night too. And all of the rest of you that stopped by, Carol, Mickey, Wyatt, who else was here? Edwin, Kathy, all of you. You guys are what make my show great. And I get a big old grin when I see you guys pop in the chat. Carol, sweetie, I am thinking about you. Much love. I don't know if anybody's coming on tonight. Jeff is coming on. Jeff should be on at about 8:30, 8:45, I believe. So be sure to catch him. Tomorrow is Angel. In case you haven't already, catch her interviews. She does some great interviews. But guys, I love you all. Try to be kind. And I will see you guys all in the next chat room. Bye, guys. Jeff's channel? Okay, so you're going to want to look up Podcast Warehouse. Okay. And that is Jeff Canarsi's channel. So let me drop the link for you real quick. Let me drop it for you before I exit here. Just give me a moment. Give me 1 second, Donna. I will drop his link. Good night, Kathy, my sweetheart. There you go. There's his link, Donna. Good night, everyone. I love you all. Try to be kind, and I'll see you guys all in the next chat room. Bye, guys.